Man, I just missed the nuts, man. I saw and you hit it. You took a nice one down on FanDuel. I just missed. It was I got too cute with Steele, man. That's what cost me. Like SWR, we talked about him on the show. He was great. It was. I still can't believe they yanked him that early. So that was annoying. He didn't get the W, but we were able to work, some guys in with the Dodgers and on a low scoring slate. They were there and went pretty well. So talk about your day.
Yeah, I had some lineups too. I was probably about 10x the field on Steel. It didn't work out, but I still on FanDuel I had a good day. DraftKings I made some money too, but FanDuel I
Yeah.
won the night slate, so I like that.
Yeah, I mean he's only four. That my issue was he was ended up like 4% owned. So like for me, that's just like when we're looking back, like that's the right play, right? Like we were gonna play some chalkier Dodger bats. Like give me the guy up top. And I got it. It was his first start. They capped him. It's why we didn't throw Bueller at twice his owner, like 10 times his ownership, right? Like, and they did right there. I said it. Like everybody's like, oh, you could go 85. Like they had no incentive to let him throw more, 70, 75 pitches. Like I think he's going to have a couple starts there and get him loose. And again, it's May. Like it doesn't, the Dodgers need him in September and October. They don't, they're going to be fine until then. So yeah, now we got today's slate and man, ownership is wild. I don't know what's going on. So let's get right into it. So I'm going to start right at the top, right? And we got, two Japanese pitchers. We got Shota and Yamamoto going. And I get it. Miami is not great. But right now, Yamamoto's in the high 40s and Shota's less than 10%. And they're only $200 apart. Now, I get San Diego's hit decently, but man, Shota's been arguably one of the best pitchers in baseball to start the season. I get he's a fly ball pitcher, wind's blowing out a little, but man, what are you going to do with that today, Smitty? Because that, like, I'm not throwing a 48% pitcher. That's just like it's single entry 3 max. It's over my dead body. Unless his name's
Yeah,
Strider.
I like Yamamoto today. Like you said, his ownership's it's up there, but I compare him with a low stack, and I'll probably eat it.
Yeah, but now keep in mind, right? You're going to throw him in, you're going to put in 100 lineups today. So, right, like 75, 100
Yeah,
lineups. So, from a single entry 3 max, that just doesn't like behoove me. And then where are you at on Shota? I mean, listen, if I'm gonna pay up, like there's one other pitcher I like paying up, but like Shota at sub 10% is just a lot. It feels like a lot of value.
yeah. I think he's fine. I'll probably be overweight on him. Uh, I don't love the matchup. I don't like the wind blowing out for a fly ball
Yeah.
pitcher, but the K upsides is still there.
Yeah, and again, if they're just not gonna play him, I'm gonna look at it. So on the higher price guys, Lopez is finally getting some ownership. I'm comfortable with where he is. He's at 16. He finishes sub 20. I'll be happy. Boston K is a decent amount, so I like Lopez there. How you feeling on Mr. Lopez tonight?
Yeah, I like Lopez. The only thing I don't like is he don't really have the longest leash for his price, but I still think he's a good option.
Yeah. What are you going to do with Mr. Verlander today?
I'm not playing Verlander. I'll continue to fade him. His metrics look horrible. I think he's gonna have a pretty rough outing here pretty soon.
Yeah, I mean Justin Verlander has made us both a lot of money over the years, but this is just a fade for me at this point. Like I love Verlander. Like I'm a Verlander fan, but listen, he's 41. He's what's this his third or fourth start back now. Um, you know, Yankees at home. He's 9K, and it's also why he's not really owned, but it's there now. Let's go to the other side of that game. What do you think of Mr. Gill today?
I like Gill. The Astros, they don't strike out much, but Gill, his stuff's just insane. So I like him. As long as he can control his walks, I think he gets there today.
Yeah, that's his thing. If he gets it under, he's there. Um, and then let's talk about. Listen, I get, and we attacked it yesterday. I get Seattle K's a lot, and and I like Bailey Ober as much as the next guy, but 40% Bailey Ober on this slate because he's only $7,600 seems like a crazy number to me. Like, like walk me through. Should I play him or not play him? Like, where are you at on him? Because I don't play 40% pitchers in single entry three. And I just don't do it.
Yeah, that one's tough. It's like if you have more than one lineup, you could literally play Ober in one and stack the Mariners in the next because Ober, he gives up a lot of power, but he also has pretty good strikeout stuff. And the Mariners strike out a lot, but they also have power. So it could go either way. But the field's
Yeah,
playing it like Ober's going to win every time. So
yeah, and that's in three max. That's what I'm really looking at, right? Is give me, maybe give me a Seattle Miami together stack, right? Like on a low, to offset the Yamamoto Ober ownership. Um, and then everybody's punting to Kyle Harrison tonight. I get it; it's the Rockies, man. Like, and that lineup is not great, but 30% ownership, even at $6,400 in Coors Field. And I like Harrison, but man, it's Coors, man. Like 30% pitchers in Coors. I want some Rockies exposure, and I'm a
yeah.
Giants fan, guys. Like my background is literally the Giants, and like, but man, I like making money too.
Yeah, I like Harrison, but I'm just like you. But his fly ball rate's one of the highest on the slate, so that's not really going to play well in core. So, like you said, I like getting some Rockies bats against him. I'll probably be under the field on him in MME, but I think he's okay.
All right, you got any other pitching you like tonight?
Um, I think Buto's in play. Not like my favorite option, but he's all right if you have the money.
Yeah, that's I wrote up like I'd like him a lot more if he was a little bit less money.
Cheaper, yeah.
But I also think that's keeping his ownership down. So all right, well let's get off. We got a 7:05 start tonight Eastern. First couple games out. We got the Yankees and Astros. We both landed in the same spot. I think we're both on the Yankees today. Who are you liking from there?
Yeah, I like Volpe. He's been kind of cold, but leading off, he's got some good hitters behind him, so he's going to see pitches. I like him, and I really like Juan Soto. Seen Birdie made the lineup, so that's a cheap addition to the stack. I'd kind of like to avoid Trevino and Torres, but pretty much all the rest of them are in play.
Yeah, I like Rizzo today. I think Rizzo, has a good spot at his price. First base is just stacked anymore is the problem.
Yeah.
And then again, the other side, if you want to stack some of the Astros, I get it, especially if you're in GPP. They're not going to make my three max today. Maybe I one off Tucker or Jordan, but that's about it for me.
Yeah, not too much interest in the Astros for me. Maybe a Cabbage if you just need a value play, but other than that.
Yeah, I mean, the issue is like he's just got to get on. If he gets on, he's going to steal some bases because he's so freaking fast. But he's got to get on base. What do you think of Atlanta today? You got. They're just not hitting the ball well.
No, they're not hitting well, and Crawford's been really good. So their team total is pretty surprising to me. I don't really understand it, but I think they're fine. Their prices are kind of starting to come down, but they're not a priority for me.
Yeah, me neither. I mean, I'm always going to like 5,400 Olsen, but it's because he hasn't hit. So, and again, when I say not hit, like he's hitting like an average first baseman, right? He's just not murdering the ball. I'm not going to go to the Sox today. Grissom still, I like, if you want some leverage, I like Grissom. He's still cheap. He's batting fifth today. So, he's just getting going this season. But he's not great against righties. He definitely hits lefties better.
Yeah, I think Devers looks pretty good. He's pretty cheap on DraftKings at 5,100, but other than that, it's kind of just an avoid. That bottom of the lineup's horrible.
Yeah, and third base has been, third base has kind of been so I don't hate going Rafi there either. All right, we got wind blowing out in Wrigley tonight, 70 degrees. We know how. Now, here's the thing. I like Shota, but we also saw last night how bad the Cubs pen is. The Cubs pen is bad. Where are you at with this game? I mean, I like both sides.
Yeah, I do too. I like both sides. They've shown that they'll just throw Vasquez out there and just let him get killed. But the other side, I like I kind of like some of the Padres bats. Like you said, the pin's bad. Shota has a pretty high fly ball rate. They put it in the air and it could just carry. So give me
Yeah,
some
I mean Tatis is
Tatis.
only $5,000 today.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
like
crazy.
right, like Tatis is fine. Machado's only 4,500. Profar, who's literally been one of the best hitters in baseball this season, is $3,900. So, um, yeah. So that's I like both sides. I like Swanson today, and I think Wisdom right is going to project well in that weather. So PCA is still pretty cheap. I won't go Amaya, and I can't decide on Camposano today. I'm still mad. The Opto absolutely loved Gary yesterday. And instead of like running a 3-3 and using Gary, I went 4 and with Vasquez from Minnesota, and that cost me a little chunk of money. So that was slightly annoyed yesterday. All right, man. Here it is. I get they strike out a lot, man, but gosh, that percentage for the Mariners, I just can't get my head around. And I'm not going to Minnesota. Like they're just not getting enough done for me. And Rocco captain pinch hit. So what do you think of
Yeah,
the Mariners?
I think Julio's too cheap. I know he hasn't done anything, but he's under $5,000, which is pretty crazy for his talent level. Really, they're just cheap and they have power, so I think they're in play. The Twins also the same. They're cheap. I like specifically Jeffers, Kepler, basically the top four. I think I'd probably cut it off there.
Right. And think about this. You can have a Tatis Julio like start of your outfield and be less than $10,000. Like that, I just don't think we get that a lot more this season. We got a little wind tonight in KC, a little humid, little, decent weather after all the rain they got. Colin Rea doesn't strike the fear into anybody's hearts for me. Lugo's actually been pretty solid, like to start the season. So I actually like the Royal side a little bit better if I'm going to go there in this game, but this just isn't a game I'm going to like super attack.
Yeah, I'm the same. I think the Royals look pretty good. I can never get Ray right. Anytime I target him, he shuts my offense down. But I don't mind targeting Lugo with like some of the cheaper Brewers bats, like Tyler Black and Sal Frelick. They're both so cheap that I think they make sense.
So Tyler Black's a must play for me today. It's just one of those things, right? Like you'll be able to say later on in life if you're running a one-off. So that's that's there. Oh, we just got the lineup for San Diego. Let's see what we got here. Oh, Profar's batting leadoff. I like Profar even more now. So they moved him up to leadoff. He's $3,900. Solano's playing again, which I don't get. But and Higgy's they're giving. I don't hate Higgy. I don't hate punting Higgy at catcher. Versus a lefty. So we'll have to look at that. My dreaded cards, I can't get them right. I like the Contreras brothers that keep hitting. Wilson's been hitting well, but I'm not going there. And I can't, I'm just not into this Mets cards game today.
No, me neither. If anything, I'd probably be on the Mets side.
Yeah. All right. Coors Field. What are we doing about Coors Field?
I like the Rocky side. If I'm going to play any of it, the over/under is only at 10 though, which is pretty low for Coors. The Rockies against Harrison make for a pretty good leverage. The Rockies will probably get a little bit of ownership, but as a full stack, I don't think they'll be chalk or anything. But I like getting to some Bouchard and McMahon, Doyle, probably the top six. And then Jordan Beck.
Yep. Beck's only $3,000.
Yep.
So if you guys don't know who Jordan is, he's Rocky's got some guys in their pipeline, and he's one of the guys. So I like Beck there, and then same. if I went a giant to like just throw one in, if I wanted to like bring one back in the game, I'd probably go Estrada. Or yeah, it's like I just don't want to pay like as much as I like Conforto, I don't want to pay 5,100 for him is my issue. Like what I could go put Tatis or Julio in, and then it's the Dodgers, right? Like you just like we got to keep playing them. They're a must play. They teased us last night. Like I actually did great in tiers. So I used, our new partner Solver. I used the tier opto. I ran 20 lineups. I wish I would have played it at bigger money because I'm just testing it. So I wanted to see it. I would have made a lot of money last night if I would have not been a chicken on those 20 lineups. The opto crushed it with our projections. Right. Cause I just, I got the, I had Outman home run, I had Hernandez home run. I had Shohei home run. They got to those 6 and kind of died, but they're always in play. And I sneakily that again, we talked about Yamamoto's ownership. Give me the top of that lineup, that top 4 to offset some of that ownership mix or match in there. How you liking that?
Yeah, they're cheap too. Nick Gordon, surprisingly, has just been on a tear lately. I don't even mind adding him to that if at that price.
Yeah, right. I mean, he's cheap, right? He's $2,900. Again, right? Like, they're cheap guys. Like Jazz is, 4,700. De La Cruz is 3,600. Berger's only 42. Like they're just cheap. Like it gets you a way to get some of the bigger bats. And I don't hate I hate the over under, but it's there because it's Miami. But I also hate you can get sneaky in a GPP and full stack this game, right? Run Dodgers and Marlins. So I like that there. And we just got the Mets lineup. Nemo's still hot. Nemo's still too cheap for $4,500. He's still super cheap there. Again, if you want to one off in that game, he's at, it's funny to watch a batting average guy turn his bat around and start trying to hit for power. So cool. All right. So it wouldn't be a day without the moonshot. Who you got, Smitty?
Today I'm going with Juan Soto. I like how he matches up. I like the Yankees. So give me some Soto.
And this is cheesy, but this is value, guys. I can't not go here. This is at FanDuel. So this is mispriced, okay, at FanDuel. So today's Shohei is $325 at FanDuel to hit a home run, but he is $235 at a bunch of other places. So if you're gonna grab it at FanDuel, right? He's out of control. He might make 7K at this rate. And he probably should. We said that last year when Olsen and Acuna were on fire. We said, hey, they might make 7K. I think there's a shot they make 7K here. So, and again, he probably should be as crazy as he's ball, right? I mean, just go look at his ISO and, WOBA and all that fun stuff. It'll make you smile. So, well, let's go have a good night. We'll be in Discord and let's have fun on this slate.